Oh, good to see everybody and good to be here. Well, we've arrived at the Brahma Vihara of equanimity, but we're certainly not leaving metta or compassion or mudita behind. They're very much coming along with us. Christina Feldman puts it like this: equanimity gives selflessness to metta, gives patience, courage, and fearlessness to compassion, guards joy from sentimentality, and brings all the ennobling qualities of the heart together in liberation. In Buddhism, there are so many lists, and equanimity is always, it seems to be always, probably is always the last on the list. Equanimity, or upekkha, which is the Pali word, means to look over, to see over, to have a wide view. And it is the capacity to be with life as it is. As it is. It's not complacency, and it's not resignation. It's certainly not indifference. It's the opposite. Equanimity is an engagement with life and the world as it is. And this can be so challenging because it really does. It stretches the edges of our circle of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. You know, that's true for what is happening both outside of us and within us too. It really does require, equanimity requires a strong metta practice. It requires a strong karuna practice. Because in Buddhist thinking, equanimity includes having an equal attitude toward all beings without the boundaries that we habitually draw between friends and strangers and those we consider the difficult people. When I first started to really step into more of a retreat practice, I went to a lot of Tibetan retreats. And I've shared this before, the prayer of aspiration by the merit, it says, by the merit of this practice. May we be free from attractions and aversions and preferences and remain in the great equanimity. And I repeated this over and over and over again. And I don't think I really understood what it meant. I have a better idea today. I want to give you a couple of images that may help us think about equanimity. There may be some of you who are really good at taking videos. I am so not. my lens, it's jerky. It's always jerky, and sometimes you'll see my finger in the front of the lens or somebody's backside, or I keep, the video keeps running as I'm walking. I've forgotten to turn it off. Well, my brother works in the movies, and he is what is called a Steadicam operator. Now, a Steadicam is a special kind of camera because it keeps the camera steady, even when the operator is moving on uneven ground or perhaps up in the air. The camera moves through the action, but it keeps the lens steady. And as we watch the scene, regardless of what might be going on in the scene, our perspective stays steady. And like the cameraman, the Steadicam, regardless of what's going on around us or within us, we're learning. We're learning to find our balance and steadiness. And equanimity training really sets the intention to steady the heart-mind as we face the bumps and jolts and upsets and hurts and disappointments of life, the worldly winds of gains and losses and pleasures and pains and praises and blames and fame and disrepute. Well, they can do their best to upset us. They do, for sure. We're learning. This is a training. We're learning how to settle and calm and steady and stay engaged. Unlike the Steadicam, we're not mechanical. We wobble in and out of balance and steadiness. And it's so important, Susan really emphasizes this, for us to notice the wobbles and the unsteadiness. And we take a breath and tether the breath to the body and the body to the ground. And we do this again and again and again. This is how we grow equanimity. We're not always graceful and smooth, and life sure isn't either. So every metaphor has its limits, and the Steadicam might give us the sense that we're an audience member and detached. Equanimity isn't that. Equanimity is engaged. So the other, the short story is a little different in that, well, it was my first conscious memory of not having control over external events. And I was up in an airplane. And of course, we shouldn't be up in the air. This is not natural. This isn't natural. We want to feel terra firma under our feet. It was a moment of conscious recognition. I don't have it. And I married someone who loves the air, who loves to fly. And he said, that he loves it when the plane experiences turbulence. He loves it because the plane knows how to respond and stays flexible and stable. It has the ability to respond to the updraft and the downdraft. Next time, he said, you can look out. Look at the wings. They actually flex. And I know this is mechanical, but I think it's also somewhat organic in the flexibility of how it responds to natural forces. Susan will often talk about the trees that withstand the storms, how they yield and bend. Sometimes they break, but usually they stand up straight. We want to have some faith and confidence that we have, that we're stable, that we're strong enough to withstand the winds, that we have a suppleness. And this is what a mindfulness practice is helping us to do. I think this is one of the big reasons we practice. The winds are going to pass through. We're learning how to adjust our sails accordingly. Our bodies have a natural ability to return to homeostasis, 98.6 temperature or thereabouts. And when it's cold, we shiver. And when it's hot, we sweat. We don't like to be upside down for too long. So the plane goes back to straight and level flight, and the tree reaches back up. Bill will often say, and I'll repeat this, nothing heroic here at the Daily Sit. We're just doing our best to be a little less reactive, to come back to balance, maybe a little more quickly this time. And I hope these stories convey that there is a great deal of activity in the seemingly placid state of equanimity. Equanimity gives selflessness to metta, gives patience, courage, and fearlessness to compassion, guards joy from sentimentality, and brings all the ennobling qualities of the heart together in liberation. Thank you for listening. Now let's forget all those words and let's take a few moments to set up, to make the effort to set up our practice, our holding environment in the way that supports us. Let's find these bodies. Let's see where you might need a little more attention, a little TLC. Mm. Remembering the side body. Oh, breathing as you move and appreciating whatever level of flexibility you have today. You need to shake it loose a little. Let's not forget the face, inviting the face to relax. Whenever you're ready, in your time, coming into a posture that is comfortable and supported. And closing the eyes, if that's a support today. As if we were about to do something we really wanted to do. As if this moment is worthy of your attention. You come in for a soft and gentle landing. If helpful, taking some deeper, more deliberate breaths. Receiving this breath. Full body breathing. And you might take a moment to feel the places where the body is making direct contact with the ground, the chair, the floor. Just feeling that stability of being held physically. Allow that to saturate awareness. And for this short practice, we are going to orient our attention to comfort and ease. Inviting the body to unwind a little more. and reminding the mind that it too can unbind from any looping, tight thought patterns, letting it be like the spacious sky. And remember that every breath is an invitation to presence, an invitation to begin again. Kind eyes. A posture of caring attention. And if the mind is drifting or distracted and you happen to notice, allowing the physical breath in the body to invite you back to presence, to this moment, fresh, never lived before. As if this breath is precious. Softening and allowing. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here. Let me turn this off. Yes.